Wrestling TV Reviews. Your girl Lynette.
Your boy Stanley.
I will say this right off the bat. I think last week should have been the season finale. This one was good, but last week was like, you could have ended it off of right there and I would have been fine. But 3 weeks later, we see that Jamal is coming home. I knew that Jamal wasn't dying.
Yeah, we knew that.
He was too big of a star to write off like that. Mm-hmm. And then his tweet and all that stuff had everybody confused. And I said, I thought the tweet meant that basically I'm leaving Empire the label, but not Empire the show. Mm-hmm. If you know what I mean. We still kind of didn't get to that tonight, but I really think that's what that meant.
Yeah, well, he just threw it out there to twist us up for this week so
right.
we can watch.
So, of course, he's in his feelings. He's depressed. Everybody's trying to cheer him up. We got Veronica singing songs to him and all of this. Welcoming him back. He all teary-eyed. And I'm like, did they give him some antidepressants before he left that hospital? Because homeboy had me in my feelings. I said, y'all help him. We see grandma over there with a whole goddamn basket full of pistachios. She over there just crunching, munching. I said, ooh. 3 weeks later and grandma's still here. Y'all ain't found a way to get rid of her crazy.
Yeah, I thought she got rid of her by now.
I said, okay. So Lucious tells Jamal, look, and you're gonna sing at this wedding. Your brother, he's gonna
he don't got our names, so he gonna officiate the wedding.
Jamal said, look at here, I'm tired.
I ain't singing.
I heard it. He said, I'm sick of this cycle. It's life, death, incarceration. Mm-hmm. And until we learn how to break this here cycle, I'm not singing no more.
Singing no more.
I said,
I feel you on that, dog.
Yeah.
You just got shot. So you can do whatever the hell you want to do. If you want to quit, I don't even care. Quit. Sing or death. I'll choose life
for 100 Alex. So Jamal says, how's Frida? How's she doing? Then there go Lucia talking about something. She's not the victim. He said, yes, she is. She's a victim of all of your crap, your manipulation, and all the stuff you did to get her in a position where she felt like she needed to shoot at you. Yep. So, yes, she is the victim. I said, Grandma said, y'all ain't doing nothing but paying for all this stuff y'all daddy did. And at that moment, Lucious was like, Juanito.
Let's go.
Get her meds.
We got to go.
And get her spaghetti and salad and take her to a goddamn room.
But they got to know that she telling the truth. The kids got to know she telling the truth. Because every time she open her mouth up, he hurry up and get her out of there.
And then he takes her by the arm. She said, you going to stop squeezing my arm. I said, elder abuse?
But she said, before I put my foot in your mouth. But we found out, y'all, that Thirsty stopped her from talking to the news people.
Thirsty is a vampire.
Yeah, I was like, where'd he come from? He didn't even see her when she left.
Nah. So, then we see Boo Boo Kitty, because at this point is Cookie and Lucious sitting at the table talking or whatever. Boo Boo Kitty comes in and she was like, I got something to tell y'all. But Lucious, I need to tell you by yourself. He was like, ain't no secrets between me and Cookie. Go ahead and tell us. Well, the feds picked me up. Question me about some stuff, want me to testify in grand jury against you, da-da-da-da-da. But I'll die before before I testify against you, da-da-da-da-da. So they was like, well, who we talking about here? She said, some guy named Sean. And then at that same time, here come that guy doing Andre and Rhonda. Andre said, we talking about Sean Johnson? Oh, Rhonda comes around the corner. You push me, you beat.
Start choking up.
Had her on him.
They were holding her back.
They was like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Rhonda? What are you doing? Then she punched her.
Yeah.
Bow. They was like, hold on. Ain't no way that, little debutante with the pearls. She ain't do that.
Yeah, she ain't even capable of doing nothing like that.
Then Andre, he started
backpedaling because they must have had a plan before they came in there. And he started backpedaling.
I'm not sure that she did.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not.
She said, what about your vision? What about God speaking to you? Well, maybe that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Andre, what the hell is going on? You made her a believer, now you trying to make her not believe in Jesus?
But I wonder if that Shaw Johnson had something to do with his mind being changed.
Meaning?
Because he came in there, he was like, Shaw Johnson? It's almost like he was bothered by it. But I don't know. I'm just speculating right now for him to... backpedal after he got all his visions. He got the word of knowledge from the Lord, and now he don't want to deliver.
So Lucious tell everybody, look, we're going to get security on Anika so that the feds are not able to get to her. We just need 2 more days. See, I don't know if any of y'all are with me on this, but I'm not following this whole Fed, grand jury, 2 days. Where did all of this come from?
Yeah.
Because we was not led into this. We didn't even get no foreplay, no nothing. We just going straight into it like this?
Yeah, because we just saw at the end of last week, she was sitting at the freaking interrogation booth, getting interrogated by Tariq the Freak. Now, all of a sudden, we got to get away from the feds. I don't know.
I mean, so...
Hey, they ain't after me, so I don't care.
Hello. Hello. So, that daggone Rhonda and Andre get into it, and she was like, look, what was all of that? At the end of the day, we came in here on the same accord. Now you talking about something, you don't believe me after this and da-da-da-da-da. And one thing I know about your father is he part killer, he this, and that's the part of you that I want. And until you get that back, don't call me no more.
Yeah, I want that killer instinct back. Like, but you was the one that killed Vernon. So like you the one that got the killer instinct, because he killed anybody?
Nah.
As a matter of fact, he tried to freaking cover the murder that you did, because you the one that killed Vernon.
I was like, I'm over it. So Lucious and Cookie is in his office talking. He get ready to tell Cookie some stuff. He goes ahead and turns the music up just in case they're bugged and wired or whatever. You know, you can have a mixer of all the information, and it'll be hard for you to distinguish music from talking. So he's telling her that, you know, when you were away, I had to do some things. There was 4 people, we called ourselves the 4 horsemen or something about some 4 horsemen. I really didn't follow that story to a T, but evidently it was 3 people that he killed off just because he had to, and the 4th one was a deal.
Job. Yeah, that was a job.
And this 4th one evidently is the one that got him in trouble. That's why the feds are after him, is from what I'm understanding. So I was like, that's what this whole shot. No, I'm like,
I don't even know.
I'm not following it, so I'm sorry if I just film all over the place because I'm not following it.
Maybe next season we'll be able to follow it when it comes back on. I guess it come back on the fall because we ain't even see no...
It's almost like they wrote this in at the last minute and it's like, what? Like they had some actors on back burner that they had to put in and now none of it makes sense. So, we see Cookie, she goes over there with that hat cocked to the gap door aside. She go visit old Shad Johnson. Well, first of all, are they calling him Shad or are they calling him Sean?
Yeah, one of them.
Because everybody seems to be saying it differently. And I know I have an accent, but my God. She goes over there to see him. He over there thinking his music is hot. She over there telling him,
yeah.
Well, he wants to come to the wedding. And he wants to perform. And this is a way to build the unity so that the feds, I don't know.
I guess maybe he must have known who Lucious done killed. So they need to keep him silent.
Yeah.
So bring him back into the fold
and
with the other godfathers so he can keep his mouth shut.
Yeah. I'm like, whatever. So then we see Lucious going on over to the jail and visits Frida. I said... Frida ain't jumped across that table and choked the mess out you yet.
That's what I thought she was gonna do.
But he starts off with the manipulation.
Right out the gate.
Frida, you broke my heart.
Yeah.
Why did you try to shoot at me? She was like, you know why?
You know why I tried to shoot at you?
Carl told me that you killed my father. He was like, you listen to a crackhead? And he was like,
I gotta
the last conversation that I had with your father was about you. I never laid a hand on that man. True.
You just set it up for somebody else to lay hands on.
Yeah, like Tuche said, true, you didn't.
But see, he knew when you throw crackhead in there,
it kind of made everybody be like,
Yeah, I'd be like, I feel stupid that I listened to a crackhead. Even crackheads tell the truth.
Crackheads and drunks will tell you the truth.
Yes, matter of fact, when you piss them off, that's when they tell the truth.
They're going right. Be like, that ain't your daddy.
That ain't your daddy.
Your daddy over there.
Your mama been cheating on your daddy for last year.
That's why you don't look like nobody in the family.
all mad because nobody didn't give him no money. They'll rat you out if you don't give him no money.
When they get that hit. So, he was pretty much saying, Jamal loves you, and I know you love Jamal, and he's in a really bad space because of you and how he's really concerned about you and all this stuff. And then he just proceeds to be like, I got something for you. I said, don't fall for it, Frida. Please don't fall for it. But he pulls out this song that he wrote and a beat. And I'm sitting here like, how many people can really just bring in beats into the prison?
Only on TV.
Only on TV. And she started reading the words. She listened to the beat. She was like, I got something for that. Own. So she started going in with it. I said, did you just drop a record from prison for him to make money off of you? Because you just fell for the okie doke.
Exactly what you did.
But she thinking that she helping Jamal out. And ultimately, she kind of did. So she goes ahead and spits some rhymes. And we see that part ended. And we see Jamal over at the house. Still in his blues, whatever. Lucious come over there and was like, look, talked to Frida today. Saw her today. She told me to give you something. He goes and plugs it up, puts it in his iMac. Start listening to it. Perked up a little bit. I said, okay.
He should have said, I'm delivered. He got delivered.
So he pushed his little wheelchair back. Got in front of the keyboard, started singing and doing his little lullabies and the goat cries and all of that. He did all of that. And I said, okay.
Said it worked.
Got him up out his funk for a little bit.
So we know he was in that funk all because of Frida.
Yeah.
He could care less about Lucious than right about now.
So then we see Cookie, Lucious, Laura, Hakeem, and her parents sitting down eating dinner. Father is a straight shooter, which I love that. He said, look, I heard something about Shard Johnson going to be at this here wedding, and he ain't nothing but a thug that went up there and shot up
somewhere.
Some place and all this, and I don't want that around my baby girl and the wedding and all of this. And Hakeem was like, look, my family are who they are. But what we going to do, we going to change the cycle. We're going to break the cycle, and we just going to start our lives off new and afresh. And after all of this, you ain't really got too much to worry about. So that was good enough for the rest of them, and it was like, okay, whatever.
They had a lot of good food on that table, too.
That was like the Last Supper on steroids. So then we see how that daggone Lucious goes into the boardroom where Cookie is already sitting there. He was like, yeah, we got Hakeem and, Jamal's getting ready to drop a couple of... And Cookie was like... He was like, oh.
Yeah, I talked to Jamal, and I know from my conversation, he gonna write some
music gonna come out of this. I said, you little cocky bastard. Don't manipulate your son. You just know what he get ready to do.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, Hakeem comes running in and, Ma, Daddy, emergency. I said, again?
It's like, what's gonna happen now? I actually thought it was something with Jamal. I really did.
Me too. I said, did he fall down or what? Well, no, it's Anika. She done did a Mr. Chow at the Caesar's Palace.
Trying to commit suicide.
She's standing outside, over the rail, sitting down, get ready to jump. She said that I will kill myself before I testify against Lucious.
But I'm confused. I am confused because all the crap he done did to you, and you gonna kill yourself because you scared you don't want to testify against him. She letting us know that she still loves him. She loved
the hell out of him for all of that. So Lucious over there crying, trying to talk her down. Then Cookie comes and saves the day. She's talking to her, was like, honey, you are carrying my grandson. All you ever wanted to be was a part of this family. You wanted to be a lion. We can protect you. We can get security on you, but you got to get up off of here and come on back.
And the line, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I agree. Said the line that got her said, "You a lion now." And she came up off that roof.
Came right off that rail. I said, "Was it that goddamn easy?" I said, "Anika, what is really happening here?"
Yeah, you committing suicide. You aren't gonna kill yourself, but you gonna kill the baby in you too.
I don't know.
Double homicide.
So then we see D Major. He's over at choir rehearsal over at Jamal's house. Was this the single that he's producing for Jamal? I was confused about it.
It was.
Or was it for the wedding?
It was practicing for the wedding.
Okay.
That was a song for Hakeem's wedding.
So they over there. Sound good.
Them backup singers was fire, boy.
They choir singers, you can tell.
Yeah.
They was doing some notes. Jamal ain't really care for it all that much. He got up and tweaked them a little bit, and it was on point. But this joker got out the wheelchair. I said, "Oh, Lord, it's a gift. A gift from above. Make it fly like a dove.
Popcorn player."
And before I could get too excited, he was like, "Oh, I did just get shot."
Yep.
So
D Major, all y'all get about it. He said, no, I need this ready for the mall. Y'all stay with, don't you listen to him.
And then D Major, I was like, did D Major come out the closet in this moment? Because he was like, yeah. And I was like, ain't none of y'all seeing
what's happening right here?
And then I was like, after all of this, Jamal, you still messing with him? No. After the red carpet event, bye. For real. If you got to keep me in the closet and all this crap, no. I don't know. So then we see Lucious and Cookie having this dialogue with each other. You know, I should have never let you go. My life ain't been right ever since I let you go. You want to know why? I ain't never married nobody else. Because of you. I said.
Think of the manipulation again.
I said, all right. Cookie was like, boy, I ain't got time to listen to you.
Every time we talk like that, stuff happen that we don't want to happen.
Bye. They end up in the bed together.
Bye. And she walked out there.
Someone said, twerk. He said, yeah. Go ahead, twerk it for me, baby. Go ahead, twerk it for me. I said, she ain't got no butt. I said, where is she twerking? So, then we see, this was funny to me.
Yes.
They're getting ready for the wedding. So, the boys are all in the dressing room getting dressed, but I don't know why Grandma was there. They're getting ready for the wedding, but Grandma was there. Bad writing. But she said, y'all look so handsome. Even you, Hakeem. I don't know why I thought you was just so ugly. I said.
Say, Grandma is throwing the shade.
Old people and their honesty. I said, but hold on. I see some stuff right here. Grandma, why you calling the darker boy ugly? I caught that. I caught that. But yeah, so they was like, forget all this. Dad ain't here right now. Grandma, what you meant? But we paying for our father's stuff. She said, honey, your daddy don't want me telling y'all nothing about the family business.
So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
He said, look, we all screwed up.
We all screwed up. So go and tell us,
Go
Grandma.
and tell us. It's like, if your grandfather was a good man, you know, da-da-da-da-da, and, you know, pretty much in so many words, your father saw his father get murdered in front of him. And at that moment, Lucious come walking on in, and they was like,
she lying. He said she lying.
He said, well, all she do is something else. We look nice.
Look nice.
Lucious looking at her like, you wench. And she looking back at him like, try me. I got something for you. I was like, All right. We at this wedding. Now, we meet Rosie, which I thought Rosie was a woman, but Rosie is a man. His sidekick. And somebody else is somebody else. I don't care.
It don't even matter.
It don't matter. But pretty much they had this Godfather meeting that said, look, we need to bring Sean Johnson into the mix.
Yeah.
Make it feel comfortable. Entertain him a little bit until we can get all this fair stuff blowed over. We need to come together as one. They was like, we got to deal with him again? Man, we can't do that. They was like, in order to keep all of us safe.
Hey, if you don't want to go jail, bring him on in.
Entertain Sean.
Yeah,
I said, okay. He comes in the wedding. Sean Johnson, whatever his name is. Loud and wrong. Dressed wrong, loud, with an entourage of females looking like
they all wrong.
I said, oh, God. Then we see Anika. Hakeem says, thank you for coming. She looked cute. All of a sudden, we saw what we thought was a waitress, bartender, somebody walks up to Anika and was like, you've been served.
And took off running.
Like Jackie Chan. That's it.
Like, huh?
All of a sudden, we just saw chairs flip.
Yep.
Glass breaking. Shaw done took a goddamn bottle that he's supposed to hit the girl over the head with and actually hit security
over the head with it.
I said,
here we go.
So everybody had to go. Laura was like, forget what you heard.
I'm done.
This ain't the life I want. The daddy was like, these ain't nothing but a bunch of thugs. Come on, baby girl, we got to get out of this family. And at that moment, you could tell that Hakeem was like, darn, when I finally try to get my life straight and do something that I love and be with who I love, my family don't jack it up again. Right on up.
And he was this close from her, this close. She would get ready to walk down the aisle, and they messed that up.
And she was beautiful, y'all. She was beautiful. I said, oh my God. Then we see another meeting of the minds after Anika done got freaking served. And they're sitting there trying to figure out how we going to get away with everything now that she's officially been served. Thirsty looked at the documents and Thirsty's like, this grand jury, all right. Grand jury. Lucious said, I'm going to need Anika to marry me. Tonight. Andre can officiate. They was like, Cookie said, you got to be kidding me. Oh, no. I have made every sacrifice in the world for this family, and this is what you gonna do. He was like, if we marry, she can't testify against me, which I said, that's true, but I thought last week it was gonna be Cookie that they would try. Yeah. And I was like, I never thought about Anika.
Yeah, I ain't never thought about Anika. We would never put that together.
So then Thirsty was like, but you need a marriage certificate for that. He was like, and I know that they gonna block that because they know that's what you gonna do. He said, no, we already have one. Remember we went to Maryland, D.C. or something?
Somewhere, yeah. We got engaged and we had it done there.
So they already had paperwork.
Yep.
That goddamn girl said, yeah, she go ahead and marry. Cookie said, I have done everything to keep my family together. And I will do anything to keep my family together. But
this I will not do.
I will not do. And she walked away. If she didn't walk away like Yvette on Baby Boy. She said, you don't love me no more. You don't love me no more. I said, oh my God. I said, that felt real right there. But Lucious was crying. Andre was over there looking like.
Andre was like, we just got to do what we got to do.
Until the cycle is broken, we just got to do what we got to do. I said, Andre.
Shoot.
We got Andre back.
Shoot, Andre said, let's get, I done for this family. Let's hey, marry her, marry Anika.
So Hakeem was like, but she carrying my baby. And you gonna marry her? What? All of a sudden, we see that this here wedding looks like a funeral. The witnesses looking like, I can't believe I'm seeing what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And the cruise, it was like.
And then all of a sudden, will you take this woman? Will you take this man? Andre pronounced them husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Lucious goes in for a kiss, and he turns and kisses her on the cheek.
She looking for a kiss on the lips.
I said, Anika, I'm really thinking at this point you planned all of this.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
So then when they're walking down the aisle, Lucious looked at her and said, I know you pushed her.
I know you pushed her.
And walked out. She was like, I need a moment. And she goes right on back out there to that same goddamn balcony. I said, yeah, she did it for real this time. And I said, well, why you made Rhonda act like she was dumb? Like she was dumb. Like y'all didn't believe her.
Yep.
I was like, Then we see Tariq the Freak. Shows up. And he was like, hey, what they call him? What's his real name?
Dwight.
And they talking and playing around. And he was like, how many times you gonna walk around here spending up all this federal money around here chasing me and you don't have to know me? He said, yeah, you know I got something. Mama comes around the corner. What your half brother doing here?
Dwight?
Lucious said. Teresa, oh, you didn't know? You didn't know?
Dang.
Yeah, I knew. And I was like, so what is this? Is this personal?
So in that little vision, was he the one that shot?
No, because he was young.
Okay.
Yeah, none of that.
No, yeah, it didn't. Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
So then we see this person walking up. I don't know if y'all paid it in the mind, but they had the head down walking through.
Well, like nobody don't see this.
And I said, who is this? Who is this? We see this person walk on up behind Anika. And it's Rhonda. they get the tussling and the fussling and all of that. Over the banister, back over the rails, fight. Andre comes, no! And it went off. So we don't know who went over the balcony.
Or if any of them went over the balcony. I don't think none of them went over the balcony.
Or both of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But y'all do realize that Lucious just married Anika without a prenup, right?
Yep. That
company is hers. Yeah.
Yeah, so
it was a good episode, but it was a lot of confusing information in there.
Yeah, I think Sister Daniel did that on purpose to mess with our mind, to mess us up.
I'm gonna have to watch it again. Maybe it'll come together.
So we can come back next season, which we gonna come back next season.
The cliffhanger wasn't good enough though. Last week should have been the season finale.
But see, he know by now is that even if he don't have a huge cliffhanger,
and we're coming back.
Black folk coming back next season.
Yeah, because we just gotta watch it. But I'm going to bed, y'all. Straight from the VA.
The dirty, dirty South. 2 up, 2 down. Holla.